Rolling. All right, so we got Stan ready to go do a little bit of tuning up. Mind your manners, buddy. Come on. Okay, so we're gonna walk him around and get his cinch tightened up. Okay, so we want that saddle. Make sure our saddle's oh buddy. Make sure our saddle's tight, which just about. Not finding any holes, so we might be a cowboy knot situation here. So I'm gonna go ahead and thread this through. Don't really prefer the cowboy knot. I feel like when we have a big chunk here, it can interfere with our knee, which can actually push and close the shoulder. Just as a personal note, everybody, normally we would have some holes here, and you'd want to find a hole to keep this girth and latigo nice and flush and flat so that it's not poking your horse. Okay. So once we go there, we come back through here. Just like that. Okay, now we are secure. Now, after I do this exercise with his bit, I'm going to come back and make sure he didn't deflate, because as we know, they like to puff up when we're tacking them up. So I'm going to start getting him used to this bit pressure. We have a twisted wire Argentine snaffle with a nylon chin strap, and we do have a set of closed English reins. This is what the owner prefers to ride in. So I'm going to ask him, see, I start to pull. And as soon as that nose turns, I'm going to stop pulling. Okay, release right there. I'm going to pull. Good boy. And I'm going to hold it. Just like, don't eat your rein. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to release. Okay, so you saw that he waited for me to release before he started migrating his head back straight again. Going to do this other side. You want to take your rein and you want to bring it up towards your horn area, okay? And you want to kind of give it a pull when the horse's nose begins to turn. You're going to release just like that, and pull again, and release. Pull again. Good. Release. And we're going to hold it. We're going to hold it, and they need to hold that bend until we release. Good boy. Positive reinforcement. Okay, I released it. I usually like to stretch at least 2 times each side until the horse softens and bends on the first ask. So I'm going to do it again. Good. Now, if we can get this head kind of turning, respecting the bit before we ride, chances of our steering on the front wheel drive is going to be a little bit more intact. So this is the homework that can really make a difference. Good boy. See, he went right over that time. Good boy. All right, Stan. Now we're going to go to the center here. Now, with my assessment and finding on this horse, he tends to really want to be a little bit with a rider, especially a new one. He's a little bit forward and headstrong, okay? So the owner kind of has a few issues with, slowing him down and having to pull to get those brakes on him. And what we're working on is teaching him to really keep that walking gait until he's clucked and asked to trot out. And we're going to go ahead and mount him from the ground. Now, I'm going to hold this up like that, okay, like this, you guys. We want to make sure our horse isn't going to move. My cinch feels good. All right, now, right off the bat, you wanted to walk out. Oh. So I'm going to hold till he stops. And we're not in a big hurry to do anything. Boy. Now, she's a little shorter than I am, so pardon the stirrups. Now, I'm just going to sit here. because when we get on, we don't want to be in this giant hurry to go step out. A couple things can happen. You get on your horse and they're off and going. Sometimes you're not all the way on the horse goes off and going. They don't stand still for the mounting. So by taking that nice relaxing exhale, making them stand until they are obviously being cued to move is really important. Now, in order to get him to move, I'm going to make sure that I have a decent rein contact. You know, I'm not pulling on his face. I'm pushing my hands forward so that he has room and space to move forward, and I'm going to flap him. Okay. I touched him one time, just very, very gently, and he moved right out. Good boy. Now, the goal right now is to get him yielding to that leg. So as you can see, as soon as I pushed with the inside leg, he wanted to pick up speed because he has it in his head that if you are using leg, it means speed up. And we want to teach him to move over off whichever opposite leg I'm pushing. Good. So he did it that time. Good boy. Stand. Don't do it. Now, if he picks up speed without me asking, I'm going to pick him up and ask him to turn. So right here. Good boy. Good boy. So he's still at a walk. You know, he's at a lively walk, but we're going to take it. Good boy. And as long as he's tracking and walking, I'm kind of just leaving him alone. Obviously, I don't want to, you know, let him hit the rail. So if he gets a little close, I got to steer him. But I want to get him used to yielding off the leg pressure before I ever touch his face, because especially a sensitive horse that doesn't really enjoy being pulled, which none of them really do, if you can teach them to go off those leg aids, they're going to be a lot better in the long run and a lot easier to ride for their owners. Okay, so I'm going to ask him to turn. Now you can see I'm picking him up. Good boy. And as soon as he made that maneuver, I went ahead and gave him some room. So now I'm pushing him off my opposite leg to steer him, you know, a little bit off that rail. I'm using a little bit of rein. And I want to make sure that I'm sitting nice and deep. So when I'm sitting nice and deep on my butt, it anchors the hind end of my horse to where he's going to want to slow down naturally. So if we lean forward, we're automatically asking our horse to speed up because of that weight shift. Now, door's still open. I'm going to ask him to reverse. I'm going to pick him up, push with the opposite. I'm going to ask him to bend around. Good boy. Positive. Good. Now we're going to change leads. Good boy. And I'm going to touch him with my outside leg. Good boy. So you can see he's beginning to relax. The head is coming down. The walk is slowing down. Okay. Part of this ride is just to get him stretched and get him used to these leg aids at the walk. We always want to teach our horses these aids at the walking gait before we start trotting them out or loping them out, because they do not have steering until we teach them. Okay. I'm going to turn, give him his head. Good boy. I'm going to sit my body back. Good. And I'm going to turn. Good boy. And this is kind of that emotional response thing. This is what we were working on with the round pen. Whoa. Okay. Notice how when I whoa'd, I really scooped my butt. Okay. So that tells him, good boy. He's licking and chewing. Now we're just going to sit here. Okay. Because they get so, you know, balled up, bunched up, emotional. Taking these little breaks to let them lick and chew, relax, maybe even take an exhale. This is an opportunity for him to think about what just happened. I don't want to go moving on, poking too much, getting him, you know, all riled up. I just want him to understand we're walking, you're moving off the leg, and we're walking, right? So sometimes you can, there it goes. Sometimes you can promote that exhale by doing it yourself, because they do mirror us. So if I wanted him to relax, I'm gonna, like that. I'm gonna slouch and get really, really comfortable. Good. Now you can see the head's coming down, the ears are listening. Okay. All right, before we move out, same thing. I'm gonna pick these reins up. Now he feels, as soon as I go to two hands, He feels the weight of those getting picked up and dropped. Okay, so he knows something just changed. And I'm just gonna flap him forward like that. Good boy. And I just barely touched him with 2 feet and he's moving forward. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing again. Same thing again. Good boy. Good boy. And right now I'm encouraging him off the rail by just touching him with my outside leg. When he starts to fall to the outside, I push him with my leg to get him back over. I am picking up this inside rein to close the door because if I lay this over, they tend to dive. So by picking him up here and pushing him with the inside, I'm creating like a